Hi, and welcome to another tips and tricks video for Friday the 13th. In this video I'll be covering multiple tips and tricks, so without further ado, let's get into the video. This is how I personally deal with a Jason that's going for the shift grab. I turn in multiple circles to make it hard for the person playing as Jason to distinguish which direction I'll be going in. Even though I can't see Jason while he's in his shift, I try to visualize him coming towards me and pick my timing for when I turn out of my circle. Eventually the people playing as Jason are going to start to pick up on what you're doing. Do not be predictable. If you tend to go right, go left. Go back. Maybe not even do the spin move, because the person playing as Jason is going to make adjustments to how they're using their shift based on how you're playing. Sometimes I'll even play chicken with Jason and run directly at him and move out of the way at the last second, just to show him something different. When the opportunity presents itself where one of these closets is broken down, it's a great place to hide, and all the times that I've ever hidden one, I've never been caught by Jason. Of course, the circumstances have to be right for this to be successful. You want Jason's view of the closet to be from the side and not from the front, or else he'll see you in there. Again, just showing some more examples of how this is a decent hiding spot. Jason is inches from me and just doesn't realize I'm there. This is a good example of how a lot of Jasons overlook this spot. He breaks down the door, hears my character scream, doesn't see anything, and just assumes I'm somewhere else within the house. Now this is a bit of a cheesy tactic, but in a game about survival, use whatever means necessary to survive. You just wait by the door, and as soon as Jason opens it, you run straight out. There's some risk and reward to this technique. If the person playing as Jason doesn't realize that the door is open and starts breaking it down, you'll have to go head to head with Jason, but if he opens it, you have a clear pathway out of the cabin. I wouldn't suggest doing this over and over again. People will get wise to what you're doing, and eventually you'll get caught. I did this clip just kind of for fun to show you how far you can take it. I opened the door, inviting Jason in. He must have thought I was a real idiot doing that, but I have my technique of course, so I'm not worried about it. This is the same technique but with a twist. You run outside and do a U-turn behind Jason and then come right back inside and then go behind the door quickly. If done successfully, this confuses the hell out of the person playing as Jason. Here's that same technique with the twist. Run straight outside, do a U-turn behind Jason, go quickly back inside and go behind the door. This technique isn't really practical to do all the time because it's so risky, but if you're able to pull it off, it's actually pretty fun. I came over to this wall to stay out of his field of view, knowing that he probably wouldn't look over in this direction. Why would I do that? Just in case he checked behind that door I was hiding behind, but he went straight out. If you're using a counselor that has low repair, you should be using this technique. All you have to do is keep hitting X and cycling through the different puzzles until you get the desired one that you're looking for that's a little more mellow, and you can have a better success rate.
I think I put that on right.
Sometimes when you're repairing something and cycling through the different puzzles trying to find the desired one you're looking for, it will take longer than other times. You just keep cycling through until you find that mellow one you're looking for. And other times when you're doing it, sometimes you'll get an easier one right off the bat. It's just completely random. So just to be clear, you hit the X button over and over again, cycling through the different puzzles until you see the desired one that you like pop up on screen, and then you hold the X button and use the corresponding buttons to solve the puzzle.
Oh, thank God it actually fit.
See the cracks in the door? These are great for having an idea of where Jason is within the cabin. You can kind of make out his silhouette opening the door. As soon as he opens it up, I open the door and go down the hallway. Then I look at the cracks in the wall there, and you can kind of make out his silhouette there. So I have an idea of where he is within the cabin. Use these cracks to your advantage to always have an idea of where he is within the cabin. You can also use these cracks when you're playing as Jason to figure out where the counselors are within the cabin as well. So I checked those cracks again to see if he's gone down the hallway. I don't see him, so I knew he was standing right there and he morphed away. I covered feints in my previous tips and tricks video, but this is a compilation of different feints I use and different moves I use to get the stun on Jason. So I'm just going to explain the different types of feints I use. Here's one: I run full speed, do a spin, and then stun Jason. Pretty easy. This one you just throw on a dance move and then click on combat stance. Now you're locked on, and you just have to judge the distance and then you can get the stun. So this one I do a circle, and then I do another circle, but I continue the circle to get behind him and then get an easy stun from behind. This one I'm just clicking in and out of combat stance, trying to get him thinking about what I might be doing. Here I stand back and wait for him to get close, and as soon as he gets close I run forward, turn around, and then get the stun on Jason. This one you're going to walk up to the window pretending like you're going to get inside, but you're not. You're going to turn behind him and catch him off guard and stun him from behind. This is how most people attack Jason. They run from him, and then they turn around, and then they swing right at him. I'm going to show you another way of doing it that's a few seconds quicker with combat stance. You run away from him, turn on combat stance, and then swing right away. I'm sure you didn't notice much of a difference, but watch it in slow motion here and watch the character's shoulders turn. Okay, this is how most people swing at Jason, so watch that right shoulder and how it has to come all the way around before you swing at Jason. And now this is how I do it with combat stance. Watch that right shoulder again. When I click combat stance and I swing, he automatically faces forward. Do you notice how it's a tiny bit quicker? It's a lot harder for the person playing as Jason to read your movements when you do this, and those few seconds that you save are vital. I'll show you a few things that can go wrong with this technique. If you go into combat stance and you swing too late, he'll do the overhead swing. And if you go into combat stance and you swing too early, he'll just stand there in combat stance. So you have to find the right timing where it's not too early, not too late, and just right after you hit combat stance, so you get the swing from the side and not from overhead. I suggest just finding an open area like this and practicing it over and over again until you get the timing right. This is slowly becoming my new favorite technique, so enough talking about it, let's see how it performs in a real game. So I see Jason, I walk towards him, I turn my back to him, turn on combat stance, and swing right away. Just way too quick for him, he never saw it coming. Watch my right shoulder, there's no indication that I'm turning around, it just automatically makes me face Jason. You can crouch down and make your movement even more deceptive. I do have the swift attacker perk on with some of these clips, but you don't have to use it, it's still quick as hell without it. Just showing more examples of how this is effective. Look how quick this one is. Doesn't even see it coming. And here it is in slow motion. This shows the benefit of being in combat stance. He goes to my left, but I'm still locked onto him. Had I not been locked on, I would have been swinging at air. I put on some dance moves, but not to be cocky, just to disguise my incoming attack. I hope my explanation of this technique was clear enough and you're able to apply it to your own gameplay. As always, thanks for checking out my videos, and if you want to stay up to date with my channel, subscribe to stay up to date with new content. Also, off to the side I have my previous tips and tricks videos I made, so if you want to check those out, they're right there.